Here's the one secret that nobody tells you that can generate you hundreds of thousands of dollars with a low ticket offer. Everyone tells you to go high ticket. Everyone tells you that low ticket is crap, blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, those same people telling you that you should go for high ticket offers make tons of money with low ticket offers. So it's super confusing. Which one should you go? High ticket offers, low ticket offers? Well, there's something that people forget to tell you about low ticket offers that distinguishes a great low ticket offer from a terrible low ticket offer. And I'm going to reveal you this in this video. So if you don't know me, my name is Riley Riles. I'm a startup advisor and investor, and I've helped more than 50 startups and entrepreneurs build their businesses and go from 0 to 12K MRR. And I've also helped scale a business from 0 to $40 million internationally. And I'm going to reflect some of that knowledge and experience with you. So let's go. So what we're going to do, I'm going to share you a story of a client of mine who has a bad low ticket offer. Then I'm going to reveal you what is the number one element for a good low ticket offer so that you can use it in your business. Story time. So I have a client who reached out to me because he's building an internet service provider. It's basically selling broadband into a region of the world, and his service is a low ticket offer. He's charging about $30 a month to enable people to have access to internet, right? So that's a low ticket offer. Check. We check the box. So at this point, you might say, yeah, okay, Riley, but everyone needs internet, so the total addressable market is huge. That person can have millions of customers. And that's absolutely true. So that's a low ticket offer that can target a lot of people. So that's the typical low impact, huge market. Another check. Ching. But here are the problems. So the problem number one is the margin. When you have a low ticket offer, you need to make sure that you're still having a good margin. And so in my client's case, the margin was around $2. So for every $30 that he was charging his customer, only $2 were getting to his pocket. Everything else was feeding for the suppliers, the infrastructures, the salaries of the employees, etc., etc., etc. But then you would naturally say, yes, but he's on a huge market. So if he has 1 million customers and he's making $2 per customer, that's $2 million a month. That's cash cow, cha-ching money, right? Not exactly, because we're forgetting the problem number two, the cost of acquisition. Okay, you have a low ticket offer, you're making small margin on it, and you think, yeah, but if I sell to a lot of people, I'll make a lot of money. But that's not considering the cost of acquisition, the CAC. And here in my example, the CAC was around $30. And now you'll say, yeah, $30 to acquire a customer, that's really cheap. But again, you have to correlate the CAC to the margin. So my client was spending $30 to get a customer, and that customer would give him $2 a month. So to recoup those $30 to break even, he would have to keep this customer for 15 months, because 15 months times $2 is $30. So you spend $30 to get a customer, and you're only getting back those $30 in 15 months. And this is where the danger zone is, because it's a long time. And even if in the internet business, people don't change subscribers that fast, anything can happen within 15 months. The customer can leave, yes, but problem can happen on the customer's line. And so you'd have to fix it, which means you'd have to engage more money. And again, you're running super thin on the margin. And that means for 14, 15 months, you are in debt with this customer. If you multiply this by, again, 1 million with your total addressable market, that's a lot of money that you have to play in debt, or you have to sort of feed them with your cash flow. So that's super, super dangerous, because during those 15 months, you still have to pay your employees, handle the support, maintain the infrastructure, pay for marketing and ads, etc., to get new customers. So that's a super, super dangerous business. So that's a low ticket offer that is super dangerous. Okay, but then what is a good low ticket offer? And what is that one secret that nobody is telling you about those low ticket offers? Well, the secret is you have to remember those 3 letters, MCR. That means marginal cost of replication. So that means creating copies of your product or service should not be as expensive as making the first version. So here, if I go back to my client story again, every time he signs a new customer, he has to deploy the infrastructure. He has to give customer some hardware so that they can access internet. He has to configure the hardware, plug into the people's house, make sure everything is working, etc., etc. So every new customer costs the same price as the previous one. one. I'm simplifying a little bit because the infrastructure is already at scale, so there is marginal cost of replication, but there's still a good chunk of the cost that is passed for every new single customer. And so what you want to avoid is exactly that. Look at it as Google search. If one person is performing a search on Google or 100,000 people are performing search on Google, it doesn't cost linearly more expensive. So if two people are performing searches on Google search, it's not 2 times more expensive as if one people were searching. And so with Google search, it's actually the opposite. So the more people are searching, the less expensive the search is because the infrastructure is scalable, right? And that's exactly what you need to design in your low offer. So if you're selling something 2 times, it should not cost you all that time, all that amount of energy, resources as you were when you were selling it the first time, so that you can sell it 1 time or you can sell it 1,000 times. For you, it's not that big of a deal in terms of resources. So example, you have a low ticket subscription service like Netflix. If Netflix is selling to 1 person or Netflix is selling to 1 million person, every new subscriber is not going to cost them the full charge as the first one. So that's marginal cost of replication. Okay, but now you may think, what about the physical world and physical goods? Okay, physical goods, take the example of a book. If you release a new book, the first person who's going to pay for the book is going to pay for all that time that you spent writing the book, sending it to the printer, etc., etc. But now the second person buying the book is not paying for you to write the book again, right? Because it's a copy of the first one, so it has a marginal cost of replication. So I can write a book and print 1, or I can write a book and print 1,000, and the cost of making those 1,000 copies is marginal. It's really thin because I don't have to fully write the book again, right? It's not me handwriting every single book. I wrote it once and then I can make copies, and those copies are not as pricey as the first one. So that's the marginal cost of replication. And so what you want to do with your low ticket offer is to have that marginal cost of replication. Find a low ticket offer that you can deliver once or deliver 1,000 times, and it doesn't involve more resource and time and energy to get it out there. And this is where most people get it wrong. They're building low ticket offers that are hard to sell and hard to deliver because the cost of replication is huge. So they're starting all over again. And this is typically due to one aspect, which is standardization. Their low ticket offer is often not standardized. And so they're rebuilding something new and not exactly a copy of the previous one that they sold. If you want to know more about standardization and scale, I made a video. I'll drop the link in the description. And so that classic mistake is not standardizing your low ticket offer. So you want to make sure it's standard and that you can distribute multiple times. Think of it as a book. So digital products are very easy for that, but as you can see with physical product like books, you can also reduce your marginal cost of replication. Conclusion. So if you really want to design a low ticket offer, ask yourself, can I have a marginal cost of replication with this low ticket offer? If I sell it to 1,000 people, will it cost me the same price as if I sell it to 10 people? And if yes, then you probably can go and give it a try. Boom, that's the end of the video. I hope you like it. If you have any questions or comments, let me know down there below. If you're super shy, there's a form in the description so that you can send me your question. And if it's a super cool question, I'll make a video and publish it on my YouTube channel. And if you're stuck and if you really want help to have a look at your offer, whether it's high ticket or low ticket or your startup, you can book a free 30-minute session with me. Links in the description. And until next time, you know the drill. Boom.